to get there every chance I can. I'll be there Thursday for sure.
Okay, right on. We're doing, section 13, qualify potential buyers and sellers. First of all, Jamie and Karina, I want to understand how things have been going in Ignite so far. Have you been to most or all of the sessions? You
I've
have.
been to all but yesterday and today.
Okay, so and I know some of the homework in Ignite is to go preview properties. Is that still a thing?
We haven't gotten there yet.
You haven't gotten there yet. Okay, what are the activities that they want you to do every day for your business?
You have to be contacting people every day.
10 contacts a day?
Yeah, we're doing 10.
10, oh yeah, 10 real estate conversations a day, right?
Yeah, plus your social media, 10 likes, 5 comments, and a personal note.
And then writing personal notes to people,
Yes,
like your database.
yes.
Okay, Karina, have you been doing that?
I've been getting used to it, so not 10.
So the answer to that question is no, you have not been doing it. Okay, Jewel, have you been doing that? No. Person who walked in the door.
Yes, Javier, nice to meet you.
Javier, my pleasure, I'm sure. The activities of Ignite are 10 contacts a day, 10 likes, 5 posts or something like that, and also 10 personal note cards filled out to people. Have you been doing any of those activities? Okay, Jamie, how about you?
Yes.
You have been. How consistently have you been doing that?
The social media stuff every day.
That's easy.
And, yeah, that stuff's easy. The contacts going through my phone and letting people know.
Good.
Some of the conversations, because you haven't talked to people in a while, next thing you know, you're on the phone for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But it'll get better as I go.
The solution for that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's because, yes, that can happen. When you're calling people that you know, your friends and so forth, and you haven't talked to them in a while, it can turn into, hey, how are the kids? Did you see the ball game? Whatever, and it goes on and on and on. And it's not about the business of real estate. So something you can do at the start of the conversation is, hey, Jamie, this is Bob. And you
Hey,
know,
Bob, how you doing?
hey, I'm doing great. Hey, I'm hoping you have just a minute to help me with a business question.
Sure, what's up?
Well, hey, I am, I'm doing real estate now here in the market, and I'm always looking for people to help. Who do you know, friend, family, coworker, that could be thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate that I could call today?
I actually like that. That's pretty good.
It's just that simple. You set the precedent that this is just going to take a minute. Do you have a minute to help me with a business question? And if they see your name on the phone, if they like you, if they know you, they will say, yes, I can help you. And then the magic question that we all should be asking anyone and everyone every day, who do you know that might be thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate that I can help today? That phrase must fall out of your mouth just as easily as it did for me. So, Jamie, can you make that phrase fall out of your mouth? Ready, go.
Hey, who do you know that might be willing to buy, sell, or invest in real estate that I could call today?
Good job. Jewel.
Hello, who do you know that I can help with buying, selling, or investing in real estate?
Good. Karina.
Did you know that I can help with buying, selling, or investing in real estate today?
Javier.
Hey, who do you know that I can help with the process of buying, selling, or investing in real estate?
Very good. Very good. And remember, the key thing is the question is, who do you know? Now, Jamie, of the 4 people that are in this class right now, you're the one that has been the most consistent with doing the activities. What have been the results?
I haven't got anybody ready to buy right now. I have one friend who's trying to decide what to do with a deceased family member property, and
Okay.
I am in contact with them on that.
Okay.
Other than that, it's just been some really good conversations, not so much about real estate, just getting back in touch with some of my old friends and family, but it's okay. It's all part of the process.
And it absolutely is, and communicating, and by the way, if you are calling the people that are on here, you are in the right place. Don't call expireds for sell by owners, absentee owners, or pre-foreclosures, or any of that magical stuff. Call the people who already know, like, and trust you, because it's a lot easier to get them to do business with you than any of those other people. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, right on. So keep doing that consistently. And I'm sure you've heard that from others if you've been in this course at all. So yeah, that's definitely one thing you want to do.
Yeah, this is kind of like bold, but just kind of smaller.
Bold is slightly different. However, I've taken bold 10 times. So I'm very, very familiar with it. One thing, and we've got a new coach working with us. I'm with the Hoffman Murphy real estate team. We are a part of Keller Williams South Bay, and met with the coach on Friday, and he chose to alter my perspective on making contacts a little bit. He said, your objective should be to make an appointment a day. And if that takes 1 call, great. If it takes 8 calls, great. If it takes 20 calls like we do in bold, great. Whatever it takes to make that 1 appointment a day, 5 appointments a week. And am I going to find some business from that? And the answer is yes. And that appointment can be, let's have coffee to get caught up. That appointment could be, why don't you come to the open house I'm doing this weekend? Getting them to show up. It could be, let's meet at your house so we can take a look at it and see what's going on. I know you're not moving for a year or 2, but we can help you get it in a good position. But the objective is to get in front of human beings that could make a decision about doing real estate with you. Does that make sense? How are you? Hi, Alicia, I'm Bob. And so there we go. Let's see. I have no idea what I'm doing here. Okay, here we go. All right. Oh, yeah, telemarketing, don't call, do not call list, blah, 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 blah. Negotiating commissions, fair housing. Okay, lead follow-up. Keep it, that's not, we're not a keep every lead. Is to find the path. No, wait a minute. She's got me on the wrong one. My apologies, gang.
I think.
Hold on. Let me make sure I got the right stuff. Maybe I do. I love this mouse. Okay, we did that. His agenda. We are okay. All right. This is correct. We're on section 13, right? Everybody agree we're on section 13?
Yeah.
Do you agree, Alicia? I got it right. Dang, that's impressive. Wow, that was sheer luck. I pulled that out of nowhere. Okay. By the way, meeting somebody at an open house, and here's how I meet someone at an open house. Karina, will you be my subject? Stand up. And walk in like you're walking into the open house, and I'm there, I'm already inside of it. And you walk in, you go, hi, good afternoon, I'm Bob.
Hi, I'm Karina.
Hi, Karina, what brings you in today?
I just wanted to take a look. I'm a neighbor.
Oh, sure, what we call a nosy neighbor. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely, fantastic. Is your house similar to this one?
Very similar, so we're just curious. Inside come on the market, just wanted to see what do the houses sell for right now.
Gotcha, that's fantastic, Karina. So, we've got this listed for 1.25. If we could get 1.25 for you, would that be a number that would make you think about making a move?
We actually love this neighborhood and
Sure.
our house, so we probably will have no problem selling, but no, we will not be moving.
Okay, fantastic. Now, the key thing, thank you, Karina, appreciate your help. Give her a round of applause.
What if it would have been someone that's trying to buy it? How would you go about that?
Oh, so it's, and most of the time it's somebody who wants to buy. Then I ask the question, always ask what brings you in here? Well, we wanted to see the house. Oh, great. Did you see it online or did you follow the signs? We saw it online. Okay, great. Was that Redfin or did your agent send it to you? Most of the time it's Redfin. So if they don't say my agent sent it to me, there's an opportunity. If they,
Like that.
that's okay.
Right away, direct, are you working with an agent?
Right, I don't hit them at that, I get around to it, I weave my way through to it. And the key thing is, I got her name right out of the gate. And I got it using a custom that we all do. If you walk up to somebody and say, hi, I'm Bob. They are forced by tradition and custom to say, hi, I am name. And then you got to remember that flipping name. That's the key, right, Alicia? Okay,
My,
so that's a Javier. So
I'm just trying.
nice try, nice try. All right. So today, and by the way, I'm going to give you the information that's in this course, and I'm going to throw at you stuff that will help you get business. Do all of you need business right now? Okay, and is calling your database the quickest and most efficient way to get business? Calling your database is the best way to build your business. What's the quickest way to get business? Boom. Hold an open house. The past year, I've closed 4 buyers and I have 1 in contract because I met them at an open house. So if you need business right now, do an open house. Zzz, multiple times. I see Who in Blue, Christina Blue, post on a WhatsApp South Bay thing that I'm a part of. Every week, they have a list of houses that could be held open, making them available. So if you're not doing that and you don't have any business, do that. Figure that out. Have you had an open house class yet?
Yes.
Great. So now you're all seasoned veterans. Okay. So I will interject stuff here and there that maybe is slightly off topic, but it'll be all about how you find business. All right. We found the motivated. Classify them. We're going to classify them by able, ready, and willing. We're going to qualify them, recap, and then daily success summary, whatever that is. Okay. Let me go from current slide. I hate this freaking mouse. All right. Gary Keller in the book Shift. Anybody read the book Shift? Highly recommend it. It's great. One of the things he points out in what's his original book? What's the first one? Not the one thing, not the one thing. MREA, Millionaire Real Estate Agent. In that, he says your business should be 80% marketing, 20% prospecting. In Shift, he flipped it. He said it should be 20% marketing, 80% prospecting. Do you know the difference between the two? What is it, Jewel?
Passive versus
Perfect. When you're prospecting, you're going out and finding the business. You're going out and having conversations. When it's marketing, it's just going out and hopefully it happens.
Why
Okay.
did he come up with the shift? Why was there a shift in that?
The reason he wrote the book Shift is because our market shifted dramatically. 2005, 2006, values had shot up dramatically over a couple of year period because of the 80-20 financing that was available, subprime loans. People were getting qualified to buy houses that had no business buying houses. And then the economy started to turn, and all those people that were in bad loans their HELOCs or their second loans started becoming due. They couldn't afford to pay it anymore. Their mortgages went up. Their house was going down in value. So that's when we saw a lot of short sales and foreclosures. And the market was shifting, and Gary Keller recognized it. And so he wrote the book Shift to address that, to help out agents with that process. I lived through that. I lived through that shift. I started in 2002. Started selling real estate in 2002. And I went through that. I survived because I learned how to do short sales. You're not going to see short sales. You're not going to see foreclosures. Everybody's got equity now. But that was what I had to do. So that's the reason he wrote Shift. Now, your number one job as a real estate agent is to find ways to get in the path of motivated buyers and sellers. And I love the expression, get in the path, get in the way of motivated buyers or sellers. When you do an open house and somebody walks in the door, what are you doing? You're getting in the path. If you go out and knock on doors and invite people to an open house, what are you doing?
You're getting in front of them.
You're getting in the path. You're getting in the way. Okay. I have an answer.
Okay, how do you get in front and the path of investors?
Why do you want to get in the path of investors?
Because that's where I want to focus my niche on.
Okay.
Yes.
And your reason for focusing your niche on investors is?
Because I like working with numbers, and I'm very factual and not very emotional or picky relationship wise.
Okay.
I understand I have to build a relationship with them, but that is where I want to go. I have a strong economics and marketing background in markets, so that's just where my forte is, and I think that's where I could succeed.
Okay. I get texts almost every day from investors who are looking for flips. We've got cash up to 2 million. If you got something off market that we can flip, call us. I get that all day long. You will have no problem finding investors. They will find you, hunt you down, because they're looking for something that they can flip that they don't have to go through MLS to find and compete for. So
Just be out there.
they'll find you. Now, the challenge is, will you be able to find them something that they can use? Very rare.
What are they looking for? Are they looking for?
They're looking for something they can buy for 500,000 and sell for $1 million. That's what they're looking for. Yeah, sure. How many houses do you know right now that you can buy for 500,000 and sell for $1 million?
That's just too much.
Exactly.
Maybe 700 and sell for $1 million.
How many houses do you know that you can sell for 700 and they can sell for $1 million? If any, right? So just be aware of that. Now, Sue Murphy of the Hoffman Murphy team put together a deal recently. We had an owner of 3 properties that they needed to sell all 3 of them, didn't want to list them. So Sue contacted one of her investors, and that investor's buying them below market value. They're going to go in, close on them, fix them all up, and then we're going to list them. And she had the relationship with the owners of those properties. See, that's the key. So just find a bunch of older people that are getting tired and want to move. So again, our number one job, get in the way or get in the path of potential buyers and or sellers. All right, make sense? It talks about our job, everybody remembers the Pareto principle?
Yes,
What is it?
80-20 rule.
And what does that mean?
But 20% of your effort comes from 20% of your work.
Okay, and what is that 20% we need to focus on?
The one thing that gives you money.
And what is that? Getting in the path of people that could buy or sell. That is the most important thing. Okay. All right, finding the motivated. When we're new to something, it's easy to get caught up in the myth understandings that block success. You remember the lesson in day one about limited beliefs or limiting beliefs? And that's a bold thing, by the way, Javier, a limiting beliefs, a myth understanding. One of those myth understandings is prospecting takes a lot of money. Who thinks that?
What was the question?
Prospecting requires a lot of money. What does it require?
Time and effort. Time and effort.
Bingo. And one of these, which we all have. Anybody not have one of these? And in that, what is one of the apps on your phone that starts with a C and ends with an S? Contacts. Your first name is? Yuki. Hello, Yuki. I'm Bob. Doesn't bother me. So yeah, the contacts in your phone are the beginning of your database. It's people who already know, like, and trust you for the most part, probably. There might be some in here that don't like me. That's fine. So if you haven't done it already, there is a way to take the contacts in your phone and import them into Command. Have you heard about that or done that? Okay, find someone that can help you with that. I cannot. However, if you've never done that, do that. That's the beginning of your database. All right. So finding the motivated, the truth is that lead generation for buyers and sellers does not have to cost money. Agents can lead generate through their sphere, referrals, and prospecting. What are some prospecting activities that you can do that cost $0?
Door knocking,
Door knocking,
open house,
open houses,
cold call,
cold calling who?
expires, absentee only.
How do you find the data on expireds,
Title.
absentee title? Do they give that to you for free?
Yeah,
They're not supposed to.
they're not supposed to.
They're not supposed to, and they do. Yes, that's something you could do. And again, calling expireds, I've been doing what 22 years now. Very little of my business has come from expired listings. I've gotten some from for sale by owners, and for sale by owners, you can look up on Zillow, and the phone number is in Zillow. So you can call them and you're not going to violate any of the do not call list stuff because they published it in Zillow.
Have you been successful?
My database, referrals database is always the most successful. Referrals from my database, my repeat business from my database, that's always the best. And you're going to see that here in a minute. And what I just want y'all to think for 30 seconds, what myths do you hold about finding buyers and sellers? What in your own mind you believe keeps you from finding buyers and sellers? And be honest, because we've all thought or believed the same thing at some point.
Not at the minute. Just
Laziness,
yeah.
that's not a myth, that's a reality.
To me, that's just what it is.
Yeah, right. Yes,
The properties here are too expensive, no.
oh, love it. The properties here are too expensive and no one can afford them. Did properties sell in this market last month? Yeah. They sell almost every day. So they may be too expensive for some, not too expensive for others. But that's good. Thank you for sharing that. What else?
Lack of knowledge.
Thank you. I was just about to say what it is. You feel you don't know enough. Why would anybody trust you? Right? Yeah. Understand you can figure all this out about how to sell a home, what you have to do, and you can get the support that you need here to make sure you do it correctly and you do it well, get it done right. Okay. So that can all be figured out. What I encourage you to do is go and make an appointment that you're scared to death to make. Because I promise you, if you have an appointment tomorrow to visit a house to see about listing it, you'll figure out today and tomorrow morning how to make that happen. The one thing I don't ever want you to do is spend a lot of time getting ready. I've got to have the perfect presentation. I've got to have the right materials. I've got to have the perfect everything. A lot of that stuff is already available to us. You just need to learn how to get that. Make the appointment, go in there and screw up and learn, and then make the next one and do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. Anyone else have something that you believe keeps you from prospecting?
Actually,
Yes.
talk about the last one a little more, because you
Yeah.
just said about go out there and screw up.
Yeah.
I totally get it, we're gonna fail.
Yeah.
Totally understand, but that's like my next thing though, it's like, for instance, this morning, I
Mhm.
took a webinar and I believe it was presented from the California Association of Realtors, and it was a slightly different message from, it was also agents, I think they were, in another state,
Mhm.
but it was the pre-listing presentation and, going out and meeting with potential sellers, right?
Mhm.
And it was a very different take from, and I understand both points.
Mhm.
It kind of resonated with me where they were saying, most sellers, most buyers are going to choose their agent based on their reputation. That is the number one thing they're gonna look for.
Mhm.
So if, like, for me, it would be as far as what's the myth, or I don't know if it's a myth or not, I feel like it's the truth, if we go out there without being ready enough,
Mhm.
and I get it, probably will never be totally ready. But if we're going out there and going to totally mess up,
Mhm.
we're gonna ruin our reputation, then who's going to want to work with us?
Okay, so you get an appointment to meet with a seller and you go in and you stub your toes and you mess up and you screw up and they don't sign with you. That's one client. Are they gonna tell everybody in the neighborhood, don't ever work with Karina?
Maybe, I feel like we will.
They won't.
So is that a myth? No, they're.
That's a myth. That's a myth.
It's out there, and like.
That's just
what-
you thinking,
Yeah, just go out there and do it.
Do it.
Just do it, just do it.
But it's okay to fail. It's okay to screw up. As long as you don't do anything illegal
Yeah.
or unethical, don't do that kind of screw up. But maybe the words don't flow beautifully out of your mouth about how I'm going to get your home sold. Maybe the proper questions don't flow out of your mouth about what their motivation is and what their reason for selling is. Maybe you don't do that perfectly. Guess what? You're going to learn so much from that, that's invaluable. I mean, my first deal in real estate, the first time I ever listed a house, I was helping to buy something else, I screwed up so much. And unfortunately, I had a broker that was helping me through it a little bit, but he basically threw me to the wolves and I had to figure it out. And I learned a ton from doing that. So it's okay to mess up. You don't have to be completely 100% ready. I've been doing this for 22 years. So I've been saying the same thing over and over and over and over again for 22 years. So guess what? Yeah, it's going to flow out of my mouth a whole lot easier. But the most important and best thing that you can do is just ask great questions.
That's what one of my myths was, how do I know I'm asking the right questions to lead to the punchline, which is the first?
Well, that comes from training on scripts, and it also comes from experience. And if you have an end in mind, a goal, an objective in mind, what's the goal when you're meeting with a buyer?
My goal is to sell them a house.
What is if you're having a buyer consult, what is the first goal you need to have with them? Because of the NAR settlement, signed a buyer broker agreement. So you know what the goal is. So what you need to do is be asking them questions that will help lead them to signing that buyer broker agreement with you. When you're meeting with a seller, your objective is to earn a listing. So your questions are around what's going to motivate them to make a move and present yourself in a way as a leader and with confidence that they will want to list with you. Understand, people, as savvy as they may think they are about real estate and getting things done, they need a leader. So to the extent that you can lead them, they'll have confidence in you. And the way they're going to have confidence in you is through the questions that you ask. Through the deep, probing, intelligent questions that you ask. And if they are talking more than you are a real estate genius in their mind. We all love to talk about ourselves. And so if they're the ones doing all the talking because you're asking great questions, you're a real estate genius, even though you've never sold a house in your life. Make sense? Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Okay, buyers. Where do we find buyers? I want you to look at this. National Association of Realtors, this is from 1921. All buyers, referral from friend, neighbor, or relative, 47%. First-time buyers, referral from friend, neighbor, 57%. Repeat buyers, 41%. Used agent previously for a transaction, 13%. What does that say about that agent? First-time buyers, well, they hadn't had a previous transaction, so I'm surprised it's even 2. That should be 0. Repeat buyers, 19%. Inquired about a property they saw online leads, Facebook or whatever, 7%. Off of a website, same as an online lead, 7%. These ones are kind of blocked, and I hate moving this thing around, so I'll give you what it is. For sale, open house signage, 5% all the way across. Repeat buyers are 6%. Referral from another agent, that means somebody, in fact, the one I just closed a week ago was a referral from an agent that knew this person that was moving out here. Okay. Visited an open house, 4%, 3%, 4% for repeat buyers. So, while this, if this is not giving you money right now, this one will, open house. You have a greater chance of finding somebody that could want to buy something or even sell something doing that. But look, where is the best place to find business?
I would say.
Where is that?
Everywhere.
Well, your
Go
database.
to the market and start trying to spark a conversation with somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. You could. I've heard people sit at Starbucks with their laptop up, and I'm a realtor, ask me a question on the backside of their laptop. Hey, it all works if you do. There's the key. Okay, so given this, where's the best place for you to focus on finding business?
For their sphere of influence.
Yeah. Your sphere of influence, people who already know, like, and trust you, and then communicating with them on a regular and consistent basis. And the tools in command can help you to do that. That's really a key thing. We dispelled misunderstandings. Okay. Now, and the National Association of Realtors keeps data on sellers as well. Referrals from friends, neighbor, or relative. All buyers, first-time buyers, repeat sellers. I closed one in Torrance. Oh, it's probably been about 8 months ago now, maybe more. I met a gentleman. I was cold calling one day. Talked to a guy, nice guy, really nice guy. Talked to him about his home, his plans, or what have you. He wasn't going to go move anywhere anytime soon. I said, "Oh, I'd like to come by and see your house." Sure. Came by, met him, had a conversation with him. Beautiful home, was fantastic. I asked him, may I check in with you periodically, see if you know anybody that needs help? Sure, absolutely. Did that every couple of months. One day I get a call, hey, Leroy suggested I talk to you. My son's wife just inherited a property through the trust of the passing of their father. They need someone to help them. Can you help them? Yes, I can. So I was able to get that house sold. That same guy now has me connected to another deal in Torrance that I'm working on. So if you getting referrals, building relationships and getting referrals from human beings is one of the best ways to go. Because I didn't have to compete for that one, and I didn't have to compete for the other one. Richard just told this guy and told his son and daughter-in-law, hey, this is the guy, you want to use him. Okay. So they did. That's one of the best ways. Used agent previously for a transaction, that's in the 30% range. Personal contact by agent, meaning the agent reached out, expired, for sell by owner, absentee owner, empty nester. Referral from another agent, about the same amount as the buyers, 4 or 5%. Website, visit an open house signage, it's even lower than for buyers. Yes.
That, I know agents that that's all they do and that's where their bread and butter. So why is it so low there?
The National Association of Realtors, and I like to share this with sellers, keeps records of this, and they tell us that 2% of homes sell as a result of an open house. 5% sell because the agent met someone and sold them a different house. By the way, why do we do open houses?
Just to get prospects.
Right,
Yes.
to get leads. That's why we do open houses, correct. And that's the reality, though, of the percentage that comes from those sources. And I would argue, if you find somebody that says, oh, I get all my business from open houses, you might want to, well, show me all the deals you closed last year and where they came from. I will bet you dollars to donuts, most of them came from here. Okay, I will also tell you, I do open houses because I know I may pick up some business. I added 3 people to my database this last weekend doing an open house Saturday and Sunday.
Which is the market. You're in the market, you've got the product and you've got the buyer. It's like going into a store, or shopping.
Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. And it's finding the ones who are. Yeah. I met a lady, a nice lady. She had sold a couple of properties in Long Beach, her parents' home, because they had passed. She sold a condo. She's living in Hermosa Beach now and wants to get a home. She was in that. Got her story, and I asked, oh, okay, is an agent helping you with the process? She said, well, I did have an agent for about a month and a half, but we fell out. Great. Learn this line. I would like to apply for the job of helping you find a home. May we set up a time to do that? I had 3 people this last weekend say yes. Javier, can you say that line?
I would like to apply for the job of helping you find, oh, what was it?
Yeah,
Yeah, helping you sell your home.
not sell or find, sell or find.
Yeah.
This is a buyer.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. She's looking for a home.
You know what I like? I was gonna tell you.
What?
Pause. It makes it more intense. And then you give them the, you know, they're gonna be like, yes or no, right? But.
Yeah.
You got them thinking.
Yes. By the way, pauses are okay.
Yeah.
A lot of times we get concerned about a void in the air because we don't know the answer, and we think they think that we don't know the answer. The reality is, if you stop, you're speaking or saying some things, and then you stop, people go,
Yeah. I read somewhere that like, if you pause, you got their attention more likely.
100%. That is 100% correct. So yeah, when you say that, well, that's great. I'm sorry you don't have an agent now. I'd like to apply for the job of helping you find your home.
That's well in people's ears.
Mhm.
We don't come off as a cocky real estate agent that,
It's very low key, very easy to just say, I'd like to apply for the job. May I? Well, yeah, sure. Here's where we're, and she gave me her, oh yeah, you know what, but I've got tennis tournaments the next 2 weekends, and then I'm going off to Arkansas for 3 weeks. So give me a call after that, and then we'll set up a time. Great. Happy to do that. Then she goes into my database. We use Follow Up Boss. She goes into my system, which is going to send her emails on a weekly basis. And I've got a note to follow up with her. And by the way, anybody doing an open house this weekend?
I did,
No, this coming weekend. Did you do an open house this last weekend? Is anybody doing an open house this coming weekend? Okay, so Javier, your objective at that open house is to find one person or one group that you can ask that question to. All right? Okay. That's focus. That's having a goal or an end result in mind. The one thing is to get somebody into my database that may want to do business with me. Now, there's stuff that has to happen before you ask that question. Building rapport, understanding what their need is, confirming they don't already have an agent or a relationship. Confirm there's any kind of interest in working together at all. I have people come into my open house that I don't want to work with them. Jerks. Well, you go ahead and do whatever. I don't want to work with you. You're obnoxious. So, yes, all right. Have I beaten this horse to death? Say yes. All right, command opportunities. Okay, so I am not a command user. I am not uber proficient in command. There's other people here at the Market Center that are better than that, than me. So for help with that, go see them. However, the opportunities section in command allows you to categorize where is your real business at? Where are those opportunities at? The person that you're going to meet next time, this weekend, when you do an open house that says, yes, I'll let you interview for the job. Are they going to be an A, B, or C buyer? You don't know until you talk with them. They say, yeah, we need to get in a house in the next 30 days. What are they?
A buyer.
A buyer. They're an A buyer. And so they're going to go into your opportunities and you're going to guesstimate how much they're going to spend. You're going to put them in there. That way you have an idea of what's coming up on the horizon for you. Make sense? Okay, great. So from this section so far, what has stuck out? What have you gone, oh gosh, I didn't even think about that.
continue what I'm doing, I'm doing open houses.
Uh-huh.
Just the way phrases, I really like that one. I would like to apply for the job of helping you buy or sell your.
Yeah, whichever one it is. Whichever one they have to be. So you learned a script, basically. And you also learned what your objective at an open house is to find people that you can add to your database that could possibly want to work with you. All right. Anybody else have anything that stuck out?
Having a goal in mind.
Ah, thank you, Jewel.
Kind of like the carrot pushes you forward.
I was on a call today with one of the leads in our database and talking to him about, hey, you're in our system as someone that was thinking about buying a home. Just want to find out if you had success or where you may be at in the process. well, no, we gotta save money, or I gotta work on that, I gotta work on that, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I said, okay, great, I understand. We do have a lender partner that will give you $20,000 up to $50,000 to buy a home that you can use towards down payment, closing costs, or as I just had a client do, pay down their interest rate. Would that be of use to you right now? Well, it might be, but no, I don't know if that would work right now. I said, okay, have you ever bought a home before? Well, no. Are you familiar with the process? No, I saw my mom do it or what have you. I said, well, great. We offer a brief session that I can take you through the home buying process. And we can either do it over Zoom or in the office. What would you prefer? Over Zoom. But I've got something going on and okay, great. Tell you what, should we look at October 12th, Saturday, October 12th? Yeah, that would work. Great. Tell you what, let's just go ahead and put that in our calendars now. And I'll confirm with you a few days that will still work. Does that work good for you? Yeah. So rather than just go, oh, I'll call you in a couple of weeks and we'll set an appointment then. Close on the appointment now. And that's one thing. You will run into people that will say, yeah, you know what, we do want to do something, we are thinking about doing something, but we're still a month away, 6 weeks away, 2 months away, whatever away. And Siri, I'm not talking to you, Siri. So yeah, so when that happens, book out that appointment in the future. Get it into the calendar. Because if you call them back in a month, 6 weeks, 2 months, they will have forgotten any conversation that they had with you. I guarantee it.
Starting over again.
They're starting over again. So, yeah, so book the appointment and then confirm it. Okay? All righty. Classify by able, ready, and willing. You've heard the term ready, willing, and able, or ready, able, and willing in many contexts. In real estate, we think about this in order differently. We say able, ready, and willing when we are classifying our buyers and sellers. And why do we start with able?
So they can buy it. You want to make sure they can buy a property.
And in order to find out if they're able to buy a property, what do we need to know? Right? Or
They have a job, a good job.
They got the capital.
or they got the cash. A lot of deals are done with cash, folks. It's surprising. Nah, maybe not surprising. Okay, so they're able. That's a buyer. Yes.
Question.
Answer.
Let's just say this scenario, you have somebody that says, I got the cash for it, what would you ask them? Like, just so you can know that, they're not lying, you're not wasting your time.
Right.
Actually, in a scenario like that right now.
Yeah, so you here you go. Great. Fantastic. You know, once we find a property and you want to put in an offer on it, the seller's going to ask for evidence of the cash. So will you please send me your bank statement, brokerage statement, whatever statement that shows that you have the cash so that we'll know we'll be ready. You're blaming the seller. It's not you asking, you're not asking.
Right.
The seller's going to ask. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way.
Their bank statement, what else?
Well, if they say they got cash, where's that cash going to be? A suitcase?
Right.
I've actually heard a story of somebody sending a picture of cash in a suitcase once as their evidence of funds. Yeah, no, that won't work. So, yeah, bank statement. Maybe it's in a brokerage account, Schwab account.
There's proof of.
Just proof of funds. Yep, and you need proof of funds with finance buyers as well. Virtually every buyer I work with has to produce the pre-approval letter and the bank statement that shows they have the funds.
So, okay, can we do like a little role play?
Okay.
We should be like, why do I need to show it to you?
Okay, so am I the agent or are you the agent? I'm the agent. Okay, Javier, yeah, it's great that you have cash to make a purchase. That's awesome. Now, you said you wanted to get something within the next 30 days, correct? About, right, okay, so that means we're gonna start shopping and looking at homes right now or within the next week, is that correct? Okay, so now, when we do find a property that's gonna work for you, and we wanna submit an offer, the seller is going to require that we show them evidence that you have the cash. So I'm gonna need from you, before we start shopping, a bank statement, brokerage statement, or something that shows you have the funds. Can you provide that to me? That would be ideal. That way I have it, we don't have to worry about it. Okay. Yeah. See, and what you're doing, you're putting the pressure of asking for it on someone or something else.
Yeah, you're blaming the seller.
I'm blaming the seller, I'm blaming the process, I'm blaming the requirements of real estate.
Yeah.
This is just what we have to do. So, yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
No, not really like that. It's just for me, the negative knowledge.
Oh.
I mean, like, I have really asked them all that stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, able means they have the cash, or able seller means they have clear title and they have a reason to sell it. Is a probate an able seller?
Say again?
Is probate an able seller?
Is it
No.
broken, somebody passes away?
If it's going through probate, there's gonna be an attorney involved, and
They can't sell.
if an attorney is involved and they're working with the courts on getting it done, then they are able. But if somebody dies intestate without a will or without a trust, now it has to go to probate. So that is not someone who's ready, who's able to sell yet. Get the attorney involved and then they will.
So once they have the attorney involved, you can, even though it hasn't said where the property is going, I mean.
The court decides how the funds are gonna be dispersed.
Okay, so after they went through court.
But yep, they've had to get an attorney involved, a probate attorney involved, and go through the court to determine who's gonna get what. And that can take months. I've done 2 probate deals down here. One was, here's something to think about. One of those probate deals, it was a house in Compton, came through an attorney that I made a relationship with in San Pedro. I sent them a trust client and they sent me a probate listing. So you investor, build relationships with trust attorneys. You send them business, they'll send you business. A trust attorney is going to run into probates and trusts and some people are, hey, I got this house in this trust. What do I do with it? Guess what? They're going to refer that to agents that they know and that have referred business to them. So, okay. Focus becomes focus becomes increasingly possible in direct proportion to how clear you are about what you want, when you want it, and what you must do to get it. I did not remember this was here when we were talking about having a focus about what you want to do. Okay. It doesn't just apply to us as agent, it applies to everyone. And when buyers and sellers know what they want, when they want it, what they need to get it, then our role as agent is clear. Help them find the property they desire and then close the transaction. And today we're going to cover how to know when a contact is able, ready, and willing. Determining the able, ready, and willingness of a potential client, we emphasize, come from curiosity. Why do we stress this? Let me take one step back. What does come from curiosity mean?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just to get to know someone, just to learn about the person.
You have some questions that makes you think, it makes them think you like them and are interested in them.
Curiosity is I want to understand what's going on. I want to understand if and or how I can help you. I want to understand if this even makes sense. People are more attracted to an interested listener than they are an interesting talker. You get the difference? I'm an interesting talker. And you all chose to sit here and listen to me babble on. When it comes to dealing with a client, a buyer, or seller, they want an interested listener. And that's why people that are classic quote unquote salespeople may not always be the best at doing this. Someone who's quiet and just asks great questions can actually be more effective. It's just that simple. Or I don't know why. Do you all have a participant guide? He keeps referencing this participant guide. Do you have those? We'll ignore that then. Able means potential client is financially and legally capable of completing a transaction now. Ready, potential client is motivated and prepared to make strategic decisions now. Willing, potential client is eager to buy, sell, or both. And how we use those things that help us to categorize buyers and sellers into A, B, or C. Okay. Oh, somebody wants in. Yeah, well, good luck. Okay, a buyer is able, ready, willing, and willing to do business in 0 to 14 days. I disagree with that. I would say 30 to 60 days. For me, would be an A buyer. That might be old Mike Ferry stuff. Mike Ferry's like, if they're not ready to go do something now, then they're not in your business. I would say 30 to 60. And I use different categories than A, B, and C. I use hot, nurture, watch. Just what I choose to do. This is hot. That's 30 to 60 days. Okay. B, or what I call nurture, they say 15 to 60. I personally say 6 months. A nurture for me is 6 months out. A C buyer, it says 61 plus days, or C buyer seller, 61 plus days. Anything past 6 months for me is a watch. They're not going to be doing anything right away. Of these categories, let's.
You said 6 months and above, or what did you say?
Yeah, for me, a nurture is 6 months.
And
Actually, with the way I really break it down, this is me. You do what you want to do. 60 days is hot. 1 year is nurture. Over a year is a watch for me. Hot, nurture, watch. That's how I chose to categorize them. Now, I'm not going to say Gary Keller is wrong, because he's not. He's built an empire, a real estate empire. So whatever works for you, just understand, if you've got 2 in each of these categories, where are you going to spend your time and attention?
A buyer.
Right. Somebody who wants to do something now. And then once you've spent your time there, where are you going to go? B. Yep. And then once you've spent your time there, where are you going to go?
C buyer.
Yeah. So you want to make sure you're focusing on those people that are ready to transact now or do something now. Does that make sense? Say yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Alicia.
Oh, by the way, I have a question. So, at this moment, maybe, for example, it was like a C buyer,
Uh-huh.
like maybe he want to buy like like 6 months later.
Yeah.
But then I haven't reached out for maybe for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Months. And then at that moment, he that's the time he was going to buy.
Yeah.
So he will be like a hot buyer, but
Yeah.
I haven't done anything. So how would you approach this buyer?
Okay, so he told you, is it a he or a she? He told you he was 6 months out. And so you waited 6 months and you talked to him and he said, I'm ready to go now. Is that basically what happened?
Something like this, for example, like maybe I met this person like open house,
Yeah.
like maybe 3 months ago or 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And then he said, oh, I'm thinking to buy like end of the year. But at this moment, it's already September, so maybe it's a higher chance to, he may ready to buy a house.
Okay, when was the last time you spoke with him?
So I really didn't really talk to him.
Okay,
Sent something out, but
is he in your database, but you haven't spoken with him? I've got bad news for you. He's already bought something with another agent.
yeah.
Now, today, when you're done with this class, call him. We met at the open house on wherever it was. You mentioned you were hoping to get something before the end of the year. Well, since it normally takes about 60 days to find something and close on something, we're pretty close. Where do you stand? Yes,
So can I go to the different things?
yes.
So I have, I think, a B buyer, his lease is up in 6 months and he's thinking about like house. Wow. Then instead of renewing the lease,
Okay,
so
Yeah.
when he,
so his lease is up in 6 months. Okay, is that a condition or an objection?
Sounds like condition.
Bingo. It kind of is. Sometimes leases can be shortened. You can get out of the lease if you really needed to. For your purposes, we'll just treat that like that's a condition. When's his lease up?
so March.
Is it March 1st or March 30th? You got to find that out. The detail, that's important. What's the difference between March 1st and March 30th? It's a month. Okay. And since it takes 60 days to find and close on a house, when does he need to start looking with you?
Beginning of the year,
Now,
When?
beginning of January.
Javier?
now,
I wouldn't say now. But if you take, let's say his lease is up, if his lease is up March 1st, then yes, you should be looking in December. Because things get a little jaggy during the holidays. Escrows can take longer because there's holidays that run to the middle of the week or what have you. Okay, so yeah. If it's March 30th, you can start looking middle of January.
So do you recommend me to go through the buyer presentation, consultation now, or should I just wait for 1 month and start doing that?
Okay, let me ask you a question. Is there any chance he's going to go to an open house without you and run into another agent that asks to interview for the job of being his agent? And he'll say yes. 100% that can happen. So if you meet with him now, by the way, getting in front of human beings that could make a buying or selling decision is the most profitable use of your time. More than anything. So book that buyer consult. When we finish this session, you're going to call him and you're going to book a buyer consult with him for this weekend. And you're going to meet him here at the Market Center. And now you have nothing to show him. So you're going to find somebody that's going to give you what you need to show him. Okay? And by the way, I have.
Should she sign the buyer representation agreement?
Absolutely.
3 months now, I think. The buyer representation agreement is only 3 months.
Can you put whatever date on there you want?
No, because.
Yes, the answer is yes. You can put it out for a year. You can put it out for 2 years.
Yeah, it's 3 months now.
I'm willing to bet that you can put that, a further date out there. And if I'm wrong about that, then that's okay. Get in front of him. And if you need something to show him, send me an email.
Thank you.
I have a buyer roadmap. Yeah. Hey, look at that. That thing's following me now. That's cool. Yeah, but yes, get in front of them for a buyer consult. And it's as simple as saying, hey, I just want to make sure you understand the process. I know you're not buying, but want to make sure you understand the process. Well, let's wait until blah, 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 blah. Then you can explain to them, when is your lease up? March 1st? Okay, it typically takes about 60 days to get into a home. So that means we're going to start shopping late December, early January. That's just a few months away. So what do you say we meet now? And so you have an understanding, and I understand what it is you're looking for. We make sure you're pre-approved, because if he's pre-approved, what is he of those 3 things we're looking at? Able. Yeah. He's not ready. He's willing, he's able, he's not ready. He's got something that's in his way. Okay, and C buyers, yeah, I hope you have everybody in command or some kind of database that has some kind of campaign or drip system that is consistently, without any effort from you, reaching out and touching them. That's very important. Any ahas from that last section? What was that last section? I don't know why there's an ahas. Yeah, oh, yeah. Not everybody realizes that, yeah, you know what? How long is escrow usually if somebody's getting financing? 30 days is very, very common. And when you go out, are you going to find a house the very first weekend you go out with them?
No.
Probably not. Are you going to be competing since interest rates are going down and now properties will be getting multiple offers? Yes. So there. Okay. Anyone else? No. All right. I'm missing pages or something. I don't know what happened here. Whatever. All right. Why qualify? That's the one I'm on. In the last section, we started with a win-win qualification. Our potential clients win because we provide them with the right value at the right time. And we win because we get to focus our attention on helping clients who are ready to buy or sell. Based on what we covered in the previous sessions about segmenting your database, what might be some additional advantages of qualifying leads and contacts? Do you remember the sessions about putting people in segments? Speaking of segments, there's Fred.
Hello,
Hi, Fred Segment.
how are you doing, Bob Segment?
I'm well, sir. And you?
I am doing well. It's so good seeing you.
Thank you. It's always good to see you.
Awesome. Are you just pouring into these individuals?
They're drinking from a fire hose, Fred.
Okay, y'all open your mouth, get it all.
We'll remember 20% of it.
Yes.
And are the gems that you hang on to. Like, Javier, what is the question that you're going to ask a prospective buyer at open house this weekend?
I would like to apply for the job, helping you buy or sell your house.
Awesome,
Right?
awesome. Yes. I
And-
know about that.
Yep. And what is the question that should fall out of our mouth every day, multiple times, to people that we call or who know, like, and trust us, or anybody we talk to?
Do you know anyone?
No,
Oh, him.
no, it's not do. What's the first word? No. Thank you, Karina. Go ahead.
That it could help to buy, sell, or invest in real estate today.
What if I say, would you happen to know?
No, too many words.
Who do you know?
The question is, who do you know that's thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate that I can help today?
Now, I know when Bob introduced himself, he really didn't introduce himself because he's bashful that way. but as much information that you can get from him is one thing. He is what we call our cold call king, and he's amazing. So while you have him in front of you, take advantage of it, okay? One thing that he shares with you when we say, like what you said, Javier, is it okay if we say this? You wanna make sure you use what he has. Say it just like, don't change it until you get a couple of deals under your belt. And then when you get a couple of deals under your belt, then you can change it. But you wanna make sure what he's saying, who do you know?
Don't reinvent the wheel.
Don't reinvent the wheel.
Gotcha.
The wheel is already rolling,
Yep.
okay?
Once you've got a basis, then you can get creative and modify it to sound more in your quote unquote voice. However, it's a pretty basic phrase. So
Yeah.
just say it.
I'm still trying to figure out, no, I'm joking. I'm still trying to figure out, you know, that 6 letters, 6 things? The 6 letters, 6 figures in 6 months, the foreclosure class?
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, he took my class.
Oh, yeah.
And he got $1 million listing,
Yeah.
and we still talk to each other.
Yeah.
Why don't we keep doing it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's interesting to play, you know, but get all that you can from him while you have him in front of you, okay?
Thanks, Fred.
All right, take care.
All right. What does it mean to segment your database? What is the first basic level of segmenting your database that we just covered? And so they're in the category of what? A, B, or C, buyer or seller. That's one way of segmenting them. I know it was brought up, I don't know if you remember it, saw it, if it resonated with you at all. There's ways of further segmenting them. They're in the same neighborhood that I'm farming. They're on the soccer team that I coach, my kids' soccer team. They're in the kayak club that goes out every Tuesday and Thursday from Redondo Pier. Or some other different category of some aspect of how you know them, where you know them from. Investors, flippers versus buy and holds is a segment. And then you're able to target the content that you send them based on their segmentation. Quite frankly, for me, that's just overwhelming. I'm not going to do that. Marie Hoffman does to some extent. She teaches jazzercise. So she's got a bunch of people in the database that are jazzercise teachers and students. So she's got that thing. She's involved with gardening. And so she's got a bunch of people that are, you know, gardening people that do that. So she can give them content that is pertinent to them. And you may want to consider in your own life, what do you do? What are you involved in? Could be church. What do you do or involved in where there's a group of people that share similar beliefs, values, likes, dislikes, that group could be a part of your database. All right, Karina, do you have a group like that? What things are you involved in?
With the South Bay Parkland Conservancy.
It's an awesome one. I'll bet Marie Hoffman's a part of that.
So far we've volunteered mostly at the Wilderness Park.
Yeah.
To take our whole family, but
Yeah.
that's not.
Yeah.
Once we did the wood chip trail, that was,
Uh-huh.
but that's our big volunteering time that my family did.
Which that's an amazing opportunity where you can let that group know that you're involved in real estate and can help them with that.
Meet with Marie Hoffman.
I don't know if she's in that one or not.
I mean.
And it doesn't matter. Because not everybody resonates with Marie. Right. So it all depends on who you got. That's right. Yuki, what are you involved with?
As far as community.
Community-wise, yeah. Or things that you do or things that you are a part of.
I volunteer at my county school.
Okay.
pretty much have a lot of people from my Buddhist community.
This community, awesome. That's fantastic.
Japanese community.
Uh-huh, yeah, totally. And could you send out content to the Japanese community that would really resonate with them? That would mean nothing to me. Absolutely, you could. So I would encourage you to focus on those 3 different groups, segment them in your database that way. A group for me is theater. I do community theater. And so I've got a bunch of people that, you know, I'm engaged with in theater things. And so, yeah, they all know I'm a part of that. And so I can send out content about, hey, Wicked's going to be at Pantages. You know, you want to see that? Oh, you got to go see Come From Away at the Amazon Theater or whatever that is. Make sense? Okay. Document follow checklist. For me, qualifying people is finding out, are they ready, willing, and able? I'm looking at this. I want you to see this just because this is important. Okay, who wants to be the buyer? Javier. I'm excited to help you find your new home. I'd like to start with some questions to make sure I can give you 5-star customer experience. This, by the way, is in the documentation of the Ignite guide. So if you don't have that, well, I'm sure we have it electronically. This is good stuff. Okay. And what's the best email and phone number to reach you? Something very basic. You give me that.
ABC,
Yep. And when is it? And it doesn't have it here. This is important to remember. What's your preferred method of contact? Is it phone call? Is it text? Is it email? What do you prefer? Phone call. Okay. Has another agent taken you out or shown you any properties? This is kind of like an initial meeting, like the one you're going to have with that buyer. Find this and do this with that person. I'm excited to be the agent who takes you to see some properties. Is there anyone else purchasing the home with you? Is it just you? Is there a spouse, family member, whatever else? If there is, then get that person's contact information, know what their involvement is, and make sure you get in front of them. I want to help you find the home that fits your needs and needs of anyone else who will be living with you, who will be living in the house. Find out who everybody is. And I'm just curious, what's your reason for moving? This says, why are you moving? I want you to avoid using why as much as possible, because why is confrontational. Why are you moving? What's your reason for moving? Hear the difference? No?
Do we have to ask the why, like the reason?
You should ask the reason. What's your reason for? What's your reason for moving? What's causing you to want to go through this pain and anguish of moving? What's the reason you want versus why are you moving? Yeah. Okay. A few more questions. Are you renting now? Do you own? You find out if they're renting. You already know, Yoki, that they are renting, and you don't know when their lease is up. You have an idea when their lease is up. Know when the lease is up, because that's going to move everything backwards. Have you signed a listing agreement or a buyer broker agreement? Oh, that's what they're selling. When would be a good time for us to get together? No. Yep. All right.
Is that listed on the student manual or something?
That script is in the Ignite book. There's a user guide that has all this in here. It's the manual. Okay, yeah. So you probably have a PDF copy of the manual. It's in there. Just look at section 13. That's the one we're doing today. And there's the buyer qualification, qualified buyers. The next one will be qualified sellers. And print those out and take them with you on your appointment. The appointment you're gonna get with that guy who probably already bought, but maybe you still have a chance.
Well, how can I start with the conversation, after, what if he's still not, buying a house yet, so
Okay.
is there any, like, because I didn't really follow up for a while.
Right.
So how can I approach it?
Tell them about the interest.
Here's how you approach it. What's his name?
I don't know.
Don, we'll go with Don. Hi, Don, this is Alicia. We met at the open house at 1649 Maple Drive 2 months ago. He might go, huh? Oh, yeah, okay. Trust me, he's forgotten all about you. So you have to refresh his memory. We met at the open house at so-and-so street. And you told me then you were hoping to buy something by the end of the year. Where do things stand? See how easy that is? You're refreshing his memory. The last conversation we had was this, and you said this. Where are you at now? And then he'll tell you, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, or I'm planning on this, I'm planning on that. Okay, great. And then based on those responses, yeah, I still want to get something by the end of the year. Okay, great. Are you currently looking? Have you signed a buyer broker agreement with another agent to help you find something? And if those are no, then great, I'd like to apply for the job of being that agent. Are you available in the afternoons or nights and weekends better to meet? Now, most of you haven't had years and years of sales training as I have. That question, though, did I ask for an appointment?
Yes.
What did I ask?
Lying to the job.
What is the convenient time for them? What do they prefer usually?
Well, great. I'd love to get together to go over what you're looking for in a home and how the process works. Are you available in the afternoons or nights and weekends better? I created that question based on the life that I want to live. I do regeneration in the morning, Monday through Friday, so that's off limits. I'd rather do it in the afternoon, so I don't have to do it on the nights and weekends. But I understand the reality, so I start with afternoons or nights and weekends better. And if they give you a time frame, what have they agreed to? Yes, 100%. So if they say, well, weekends work best, okay, fantastic. I have 10 o'clock on Saturday, great, or will 11 work better? 10, 11, whatever it is. They've now agreed to have the appointment. Make sense? Write that one down. Are you available in the afternoons or nights and weekends better? It's powerful. Okay, so we're going to call up guy you don't know the name of, buyer. And based on what we just role played, what are you going to say? Call me, I'm the buyer that you met at the open house. Say ring, ring. That's how we role play, by the way. Hello.
Hi, this is Alicia, with Keller Williams, South Bay.
One thing I want you all to do. Did you hear Keller Williams South Bay? That's fear. I'm hoping you recognize me. I'm hoping you don't hang up on me. What I want you to do is, hi, this is Alicia with Keller Williams South Bay. Downswing.
Tonality downswing.
Tonality downswing. It shows confidence. So say ring, ring again.
Ring, ring.
By the way, this will be the hardest thing you do because you're having to role play with me. So if you can get past this, you're going to feel so much more confident and stronger. Say ring, ring. Hello?
Hi, this is Alicia with the Keller Williams South Bay. We met at the open house like 3 months ago at the 20-something Denker.
Oh, yeah, sure, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that you said that you want to buy a house end of the year, so I would like to know where do you stand right now?
Oh, yeah, thanks. Well, yeah, we would like to get something before the end of the year, but I'm not sure if that's gonna happen or not. Cause I'm not sure where we stand with our finances, but yeah, we are definitely would wanna get something.
Okay, so do you have a should I say it like this? Do you have a contract with our other agent? Are you currently looking?
Oh, yeah, we're going to open houses and things like that, but no, we haven't signed with any agent.
Okay, great. I would like to apply for a job to find a house for you.
Oh, okay, well, how would that work?
Are you available like Friday afternoon or like are you available?
Broader picture, are you available in the, well, what we would do is meet. You're explaining to him what you're gonna do. Well, we will get together and meet at my office here in Torrance and go over what you're looking for and how the process works. So you gotta explain to them what that is going to entail.
What if they don't wanna meet?
They say, well, we're not ready. Okay, would it be easier for you to have a meeting over Zoom?
Would it be easier for you to meeting on Zoom
Over Zoom?
or Zoom?
Oh, yeah, sure. Now, do you have a Zoom account?
Yes.
Good. Here's, folks, the pandemic created a great easy closing for me. Because trying to close on someone to come to your office and meet with you is way more difficult than they clicking a link to go on Zoom.
You never go to them?
I'm sorry,
Do you ever go to client?
go to,
Yeah, do you ever like go
Meet
to
with
them?
clients,
Yeah,
it's a seller, yeah.
just a seller.
Or I'll meet them at Starbucks.
Buyer?
Yeah, I've met buyers at Starbucks. I had my materials with me, I have my laptop with me and go over it there. Getting in front of them is the key. Yeah. So if they say, well, I'm not ready. Okay, when will you be ready? Remember, the best questions are open-ended questions. How, what, where, when, why. Why is not the greatest. How, what, where, when are the best.
What
Yes,
questions?
open-ended questions. Okay, you're not ready? Understood. You say you do want to get a home though. How are you going to make that happen? How's the most powerful? How is the most powerful one? How will you do that?
Learn that most.
I'm taking it you went through bold.
I don't know.
I went to the first one because they told me Cody Gibson, who's a buddy of mine, was going to be, I've taken bold with Cody 4 times. And I was a part of his United Home Group for a while. Yeah.
What do you think about the?
The guy that he brought in, he was good. Yep. And I've taken it 10 times. Gary Keller says you should take it 10 times. So I met the qualification. Gary Nix, taking it 20 or 30 times. I don't know, some ridiculous amount.
Continue?
Would I know?
No? Why is 10 the number?
Because that's what Gary Keller said.
What's his? He doesn't have a reason why 10.
You have to ask Gary Keller.
10 times?
10 times, yeah.
How long is full?
It's a 7-week training. Yeah,
Once a week.
yeah, once a week for 6 hours a day. Yep, and you have requirements to make a certain number of contacts, perform some certain activities, and do some things. It's effective. Okay. Did I answer your question sufficiently? And I know you're not 100% ready and confident to make that call, do it anyway.
He doesn't remember you anyway, so.
Yeah. So, yeah, just call him and ask if he's found a home, and if not, would he like to? And would we like to get that done? And I'd like to apply for the job of being the agent that helps you get that, making that happen for you. Yes, ma'am.
Totally different question.
I have a totally different answer.
I just realized, so I met a potential buyer before I even had my business cards at a bank. And he was actually the banker helping me to open a separate account.
Mhm.
And how do I approach that? So he said he's ready to buy in about a year and a half.
Okay,
But really he's a first buyer, so I really.
first time home buyer.
He needs to start truly figuring out which area he needs to be now and just maybe getting the MLS links.
Yep.
But how do I approach that when I don't have his personal contact? I have not seen him at the bank, so
You don't have his contact information?
I do for the business side. So is that the same way you just,
If you have a phone number, an email address, and a name, start there.
so even though it's a work, like he's at work in the bank, that's okay to call? With.
What else you gonna do?
Oh, he's
Can I
in
say-
the-
Or you can walk into the bank and talk to them there.
I would just call him and
Yeah.
after, once you have the conversation, be like, would this be the best way to reach you, or which, can I get a bit of?
Yeah, yeah,
But that's the way to reach him, you know?
call him. He says he's a year and a half away, that's fine. I've had people tell me, oh, it's gonna be a year. Okay, great, I'll call you in a year. I call them in a year, they bought a house. Life changes. I think, did you mention you had a C buyer, but now they're an A, or that was you? You had a C buyer?
That
When,
was what you were saying.
Yeah. Alicia, yeah, you said they were a C buyer, but now they're an A. That happens. Life changes, life happens, things occur, especially with buyers. And if you're not in front of that buyer and in communication with them, or that seller, or that human, they will forget about you.
That's why I would just like nurture them,
Correct. And how do we nurture them?
just keep them up to date with what's going on, you know?
How would you do that?
Like just call and be like, hey, how's it going, you know? I'm so and so, and just be like, are you know, I know that you're not ready to buy, but I was just, trying to let you know that, the interest rates are going down. Were you aware of that,
Mhm.
just things like that, or like, I don't know.
And yeah, exactly. Hey, interest rates are going down.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Hey, the election's gonna happen. Who knows what's gonna happen then? Will you be ready after that? You mentioned this date. Is that still holding up? Have you had the opportunity to get pre-qualified with a lender yet? And if not, I'll get you in touch with somebody. By the way, if you've got somebody that says they're a buyer and they don't have a pre-approval letter, or I've talked to a lender, you don't have a buyer. They're a C or a C minus. So one of the things that makes somebody an A or at least a B is that they will talk to the lender partner that you refer to them. Does everybody have lender partners that they can refer to buyers? C? Alicia? You have a lender partner? Okay, Yoki? Chris? Okay, Chris is a good guy.
Good,
Yep,
Yeah, we should all say. we can-
yeah, there.
yeah, he's right there. He'd be sad if you didn't. Okay. All right, so yes, call that guy and email him and send him, that number may not be a mobile number if it's an office. We were just talking, because we were talking, Chris, here's like talking about buyers. Yeah. And I was saying, one of the ways to qualify if they're A, B, or C is have they talk to the lender that you referred to them. If they have not, they're a C minus. If they have, they're an A or a B. Yeah. And then I asked them, do you all have a lender partner that you can refer to them?
Then we all pointed at.
Yeah. So that's why.
I thought he was gonna tell you that we played fantasy football.
Oh, he killed me. He killed me. Oh, I got destroyed. Anyway, yep.
It was a good game though.
Okay. No, it wasn't. You killed me. All right. So yes, contact that person. In fact, when we're done with this class, what are you going to do?
Call, email, or both?
Yes. Whenever I am reaching out to somebody that I don't know their preferred form of communication, I call, I text, and I email. And then the next day, I call and I text and I email. And then the next day, I call, I text, and I email.
3 times.
Yeah, well, 8 times in a row. Nothing happens until the 8th call.
I come into my week, he just runs away.
Maybe. Is he your client now? No. So if he runs away because you're being persistent, was he ever going to be your client? No. And I imagine after 2 or 3, he'll say, hey, whoa, just want to let you know, here's where things are at. Great, that's all I wanted to find out. I want to make sure I serve you the best I possibly can. Yes,
So
I have an answer.
okay, good, because that's in those terms. I was calling this my personal trainer a few years ago.
Mhm.
And I kept calling him to see if he wanted to buy a house, because he kept asking me questions about, because I was a realtor at the
Yeah.
time. And then, so after I put him on a campaign where I would call him every 3 or 4 months, he told me, don't call me, I'll call you.
Ah,
So after like I called him for like a year or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't ready. So
and he finally said, don't call me, I'll call you.
Yeah. 10 or 12 times of me pursuing him.
And I can tell in my years of sales experience, he will never call you. If you ever get, don't call me, I'll call you, understand they're not going to call you. So call them.
Okay, maybe, okay.
And or they don't call me, I'll call you and say, I get it, I understand it. I'm probably calling you too much now. Should I change that to every 3 months? Or every 6 months? And then he'll give you whatever. And if he persists with don't call me, I'll call you, delete, next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, another question, you have lots of experience.
Sorry, he doesn't live here.
You said sorry to
I didn't realize I said it, thank you.
You're welcome. We all
I
get caught doing things that we just do. Here's one thing I never ever want you to say. To be honest with you,
Supposed to be honest all the time.
bingo. If you say, to be honest with you, you've sent the message that everything I just said prior was a lie. It's a way of saying, hey, this is the reality. This is the real deal now. Just don't use to be honest with you. Okay, go ahead.
Just thinking from your experience and what truly worked.
Mhm.
And because the webinar I did today, that was the real estate tools template and training bundle, and we found it through PAR, I believe.
Yeah.
Their message was truly different, where you don't ask people for sale, you are prepared. You make sure they know that you are a realtor, and you send them newsletters or, on social media, if you have a connection, you send out some, important data that people might find useful. And you keep connecting with your base, but if they, you keep in touch, but if someone has a real estate, transaction, anything coming up, they will bring it up. So that was the message of that webinar.
Okay.
How does, like in this case where, your advice to me right now was call them every day. for 3 days in a row.
Until he responds. Until they respond,
Okay,
call them every day.
okay.
Right.
So-
Yeah, I'm not saying you call them after what you're going to do, after we finish this class and say, hey, you mentioned it was going to be a year and a half before you were going to be ready to buy. I just wanted to check in on your timing. Where do things stand? And by the way, is this the best number? Do you have a cell phone number? Is this the best email or is there one that's better for you? Okay, great. Because I want to keep you informed about the market and want to make sure you're getting the information. Okay, so you say you're a year and a half away. Would you be offended if I checked in with you in 3 months to see where things stand? That's a great one.
I have trouble using the word offended. To me, offended is like, I don't even wanna throw it out there. I don't even wanna think that I'm offending them, so. I know I'm probably looking at it the wrong way, but this is,
What would you do instead?
is it okay or?
Oh, is it okay?
I haven't really thought about it. I'm just kind of like wrapping my way around from.
Or simply say,
Offended is like if somebody.
or, tell you what, I know you're a year and a half away. Tell you what, I'll check in 3 months and just see where things stand. And they'll say, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. If you don't like would you be offended?
Yeah,
Then you tell them what you're going to do. And this is how we're going to play the game. I'm going to check in every 3 months. Because if you don't, they're going to buy a house with somebody else because they've forgotten all about you. Did I answer your question completely? It was going somewhere. I'm not sure we got to the end of it.
I think you have, because that was a specific example where
Yeah.
it's more, every situation is different.
Well,
And it's
and they're all the same. Every person, every need, every situation is different. The end result is all the same. Are they going to buy? Are they going to sell? And when are they going to do it? You're asking me about the approach that Carr said. Is that the right approach? Wait for them to call you and ask you to list their house.
But it'll come up, their advice was, if they do have a real estate need, it will come up in the conversation. As opposed to, who do you know that needs to buy, sell, or invest? So in your experience, what worked? And is it because some people may get offended if you keep calling and keep asking them for, they will think you're just calling me to ask for business. You don't really truly care about, keeping in touch with me. So what does work?
I'm always going to be asking, when I get somebody into my database, they've expressed an interest, a desire to do something at some point. That's why they're in my database. They had to earn their way into my database because they said, at some point, we're going to do something. I cannot tell you how many times I've made a call in 3 months, 6 months, a year to say, hey, the last time we spoke, when we met at that open house, you said this. And that your plans were this. And those people say, wow, you take good notes. Wow, you're trustworthy. Wow, you're somebody who does what they say they're going to do. You build trust. So if they're in my database, I know something, a little bit about what their plans are. And and yes, those things about sending them market data reports are great. Sending them campaign emails about the seasons and things that are going on and what have you. Yes, all that is great and is important. The emails that we send out, how many do you think get opened? But what comes across their email subject line? Your name, right? The pins. Why does Escrow South Bay have a pen with their name on it? So that when you're sitting there at your desk and need an escrow company, you go, oh, that's what the importance of all that stuff is. And it's okay to call and ask, you told me your plans were this. Has that changed? Are you still on schedule to do that?
Their sphere of influence, when they're not, they have not necessarily expressed the real estate needs, so they're not in your database yet.
That guy Leroy who has referred me one piece of business now, somebody else referred me a piece of business. I call him every 3 months. Hey, Leroy, just wanted to check in with you. I know you're not moving. You need any help with any repairs or improvements to your house? Because we work with great people that can do that. Okay, who else have you run into that may have a need? Is there anything I can help you out with your family or your business? Nope, great. Thanks, Leroy. Yeah, a lot of the people in your database are not going to be doing something. There is a stat that everybody knows 5 people that will do a real estate transaction in a year. And that could be a fun script to use on your database. Yeah, just heard in a class that everybody knows 5 people that could do a real estate transaction every year. Will you do me a favor? When one of those 5 that you know pop up, will you give me a call? By the way, who do you know that might be thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate that I can help today? I see you fighting me. I sense it. You want people to call you and give you the business. You don't want to ask them.
I'm just picking your brain because you obviously are successful in these questions.
Oh, I'm successful. Oh, how do you know that? What determines that? Yeah. I've just been doing it a long time. Okay, that's the buyer one. Is that the buyer or the seller one? Qualified buyers. This talks about touch plans. I want to. Okay, we're not going to role play. Oh wait, did you have any ahas from that? That last segment about the buyer consult that you can use, yes.
I found out there's a script for that for the income.
Isn't that a great one to find? It's all printed out for you. Oh, no. Kevin Bark. Yep. So, yeah, there is a script. There's a script for everything, by the way. And it's great to follow those. You don't have to reinvent anything.
So, like the buyer's representation, like consultations, do we need to introduce ourselves like more about like our career or something like that, where it doesn't matter, just focus on the buyer's needs?
Exactly. Don't talk about yourself. Nobody cares about you. Sorry. They don't. What they care is that you're going to be able to help them. And the best and easiest way to demonstrate that you can help them is by asking them great questions. Or taking them through that if you take them through that buyer consult and are asking them questions and they're doing the talking, they're going to think you've been in the business forever.
Yeah, but what if they eventually they're looking up for my information or like some reputation or
Oh, they'll do it, yeah. Yeah, they're gonna do it, yeah.
And then they didn't know like I'm like a brand new or something like that, and then not really have clients that much. Then what should I do there?
Is anybody afraid of the how many houses have you sold question? Javier's not. Yuki's being honest. Thank you. You are? Okay. Yeah. Everyone but Javier. And Javier, why are you not afraid of that question?
Because, be like, I'm working with a great team, a great brokerage. I'll tell them things like that, and it's like you said, it's all about the questions you ask, and
You have the correct answer. And that is, by the way, if you fear the question, how many houses have you sold, you will attract it. They will pick it up. The prospect, the lead, the whoever it is you're talking to will pick it up. Because you're generating it, you're fearing it, and then they'll ask. Now, your response is, that's a great question. I work with the Keller Williams South Bay office and we closed 45 transactions last year. And I'm a part of that team. So for last month, 45 transactions last month. Is that good? Oh, okay. And now that you have an answer to that question, you no longer need to fear it and they won't ask it. No one ever asks me how many houses did you sell or do you sell?
I actually got it.
You got asked it? When?
Last week.
Were you, and you had already taken bold though?
Yeah.
And what was your response?
I told him honestly, because he was signing actually the buyer broker agreement with me. He still signed. it.
Oh, and you still signed it?
Yeah, but I was transparent with him. I was like,
Yeah.
you know, I'll be honest with you, I haven't yet,
I'll
but.
be honest with you. I'll be
Oh,
honest.
yeah. No, but I was like.
You didn't know, you hadn't taken this
Yeah,
class.
But I was like, you know, I'm determined to help you out.
Okay, I asked you something. No, I asked Jamie.
Mm.
I didn't ask you. You got a buyer broker agreement signed?
Mhm.
Good job. There's people that fear that. A lot of people fear that. So good job. Right on.
The
So
other
yeah,
answer is,
what's that?
there's not a house I haven't sold.
Oh, that's Fred.
There's not a house I haven't sold. Yeah, I prefer, I'm with a team that sold 45 houses last month. Is that good enough?
Yeah, I told him something along.
Yeah.
So is it right number, like 45, is it the?
Hey, Simon, how many houses did we, or ask Natalie? Natalie, how many houses did we close last month?
Just that you're working with a great team.
Well, she'll give you the number. Simon will give you the number. Chris might know the number. I don't know. I'm on the ALC and I'm sure it was shared at the last ALC meeting I was at and I don't remember it.
But I just think it goes back down to like the energy you're throwing on.
The confidence.
Yeah.
They wanna know if you can help them find a
Yeah.
house.
Like honestly, I told him, I said it to him like so transparent, so easy, like I didn't make it a big deal. I was
Right.
like, no, I haven't, but I'm with a great team and I'm continuously learning and everything, so I know the process of it.
Yeah.
And I would love to help you out, so, and then,
Anyway,
I just
okay.
did it not so nonchalant that usually, okay, fine. And if it's-
Yep, and that might have just been a throwaway question. It wasn't important. That's one of those
Right.
sometimes that
Like,
people
you're ready
just,
for that question.
yeah.
I
So,
think sometimes
great.
people ask you because they kind of see that you're,
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
confident or. because-
That's, yes, they will ask it if you are showing weakness.
Yeah. I think. in
If
my
you're not
case, it was more
confident.
Because it's much more open than I am.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
Because you saw you young.
Yeah, so that's what it is.
yeah. Yep. Okay, we've got our 5 minutes. I'm not gonna take you through the seller pre-qualification one because, this is about what you learned earlier, okay? 19 to connect or 36 to convert. This is a longer play. This is a shorter play. So these are all campaigns that are in command. So it's just a matter of deciding who's going to be on what. Which one of those? Brian Tracy in The Psychology of Selling, in his tape series, yes, cassette tape series that I listened to 40 years ago now. How old am I? Oh, geez, 35 years ago, something like that. Said nothing happens until the 8th call. And most agents barely make one. So you've got to just keep making the calls, making the contacts, making the appointments, getting in front of them. All right. There is a seller qualification one as well. Okay, and that's in your booklet. So go through that. And we've got that, and there's that. Okay, with the couple minutes we have left, is there anything pressing that you'd like the wisdom of age to address? Nope, good.
What do you think is essential about the business?
What is essential about the business?
What's key things to be successful?
What's your 20%?
What was this question?
What is essential about the business? What's key thing? what is your 20% that will produce 80% of your results? Prospect. And being able to ask great questions, intelligent questions, and have some knowledge about the market and what's going on. And you can look all that data up in our MLS about what's happening. Getting face to face with human beings is the key. Yeah. Did I see your hand go up? Yes.
So I met the dental hygiene.
Uh-huh.
The other day, and we talked about real estate, and then he asked my business card.
Mhm.
Take what I forgot to, I didn't have a chance to ask his contact number, and then he said he was gonna call me, and he never did.
Right.
So now I know where he works, so I'm thinking about maybe dropping something with that, the how information that might encourage him to contact me.
Yes.
Would you do if you are, me?
Yeah, I would do that. Absolutely. Well, I would have gotten his contact information when he asked for my card.
But then he had to go, and my dentist was waiting for me, so I was like,
Yeah. So, yeah. The hygienist, okay, so they work in the back and do their thing. That's right, yeah, so. You're in a little bit of a pickle. Yeah, you could drop off a buyer package or some information about what's happening in the market. Or, you need a MOFR. What's in it for them? Something that would cause them to call. And
is it a buyer? Like, saying presentation, which I thought it would be probably some listing. That's within their budget, because I got them.
their budget? Okay, so yeah, what you could do is print out a one-line CMA out of our MLS system of properties that match their description. And just write on there, if you'd like more detail, please give me a call. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Anything else?
What would you do in the situation where they're like, pretty much like her?
Karina wanted to bowl. Karina thought, I'm out. Oh, good, we're done. I can get out of here. I don't have to listen to this guy anymore.
This guy too, like in a situation where like kind of like her, but she didn't get the information, they'll be like, well, I'll reach out to you.
Yeah.
And
They won't.
Yeah, so be like, well, I mean, what'd you do since you didn't get the information?
I'm hosed.
That's it.
There's nothing I can do. Well, she knows where this person works. So she can go and take an action. Yeah, so she can go to the front desk of the dental office.
So hunt him then.
And hunt him down. Say, hey, you know what? I forgot to give him this when I was here the last time. Will you make sure so-and-so gets this and have him give me a call?
But what if it's like, I don't know, somebody you're not gonna be able to see?
Trust me, there's people that have walked into my open house and I've handed them my card and not gotten their contact information. I will never hear from them. Now, the ones that I want to be in communication with, I get their contact information. Because I've built enough rapport, I've found out enough information that they're willing to provide that. So. Yeah, yes, all right.
Perfect.
Good. I gotta go to Kozer. It's an active adult community that just opened up in Torrance. Because. See you, Jamie. How do I turn this off? Stop share. And